Hello and welcome to another episode of The What Did I Just Watch? With your host, as always, Kyle McLemore. This week we'll be recapping and reviewing just one word. A word described as stoic determination, tenacity of purpose, grit, bravery, resilience. There is no English equivalent, but in Finland they call it SISU. Now, before we get too far along in the review, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, as it's much appreciated and it helps keep the show alive. And if you haven't seen SISU and would still like to, make sure you pause now and return later, as there may be several spoilers up ahead. That's right, this is your official spoiler alert. During the final days of World War II, a prospector's hard work finally pays off as he discovers a big old bundle of gold. But his celebration is cut short after crossing paths with some retreating Nazis. And after stealing all of his gold, these Nazis discover he's no ordinary miner. Both written and directed by Jalmari Helander, who is the man that you call if you ever want a movie that's set in Finland. Some of his previous work includes Rare Exports and Big Game, both of which are pretty big action movies, both set in Finland. The film stars Jorma Tommila as our main character, and this isn't his first collaboration with the director, working on both Rare Exports and Big Game. And so what kind of a film is SISU? SISU is essentially Jalmari Helander doing his very best Quentin Tarantino impersonation. Examples? Yeah, of course. SISU has like this really great gritty realism to it. It has like this really great gritty feel. Like it just feels dirty and like authentic. And it also has this really great music selection. The music is like this Mongolian throat singing throughout the entire film that has like this really undertone of just like intensity and like badassness. It just matches perfectly with the vibe of this movie. And of course, the biggest like Tarantino-esque thing about it is the insane amount of violence, and not just the insane amount of violence, but the insane over-the-top type of violence. The type of violence where like our main character is like brutally sewing himself back together. The type of violence that like doesn't shy away, like it gets in your face and you watch this dude just erupt into just like dust. Things that are less subtly ripped from Tarantino, like the film is broken up into chapters, and each of those chapters is labeled kinda Tarantino-esque. I think one of the chapters was like, kill them all or something. It just says like a Tarantino vibe. And then like the font and everything is just like boom, straight out of Pulp Fiction or like Inglourious Basterds, just like boom, like this is Tarantino. But where SISU and any other Tarantino film really split ways is like this feels like SISU feels kind of like a Tarantino movie that's been chopped down, right? Tarantino films notoriously known for having like really great dialogue, as well as like insane tension building, like really great tension building scenes that like have you on the edge of your seat before the violence finally erupts, right? That's like a classic Tarantino, is like you build the tension for as long as humanly possible, and then you have the extreme violent payoff. SISU, on the other hand, has like almost no dialogue, and it makes up for all that lack of dialogue for just like insane violence. Overall, SISU succeeds because of its overall simplicity. We don't need a bunch of flashbacks or dialogue to be on our main character's side. We know he's a badass. We know he's lost his wife and whoever else because he's rubbing that wedding ring and looking intense as hell. He's also got this super cute dog, and he found a bunch of gold. What more do we need to be on this guy's side? And to keep it simple, who's the bad guy gonna be? The best bad guys of all, Nazis. Because it's basically the one group that you can never humanize. The one group that no one will ever care, no matter how brutally you destroy these guys. It's the one villain that you basically need no explanation as to why they're the bad guys. You need no reason to not be on their side. Now, yes, they do imply heavily that all these Nazis are going to town on all these poor innocent women, but you don't even need that. The fact that they're just wearing the uniform is like, boom, bad guy who deserves no mercy. And for a film with a relatively low budget, SISU came in with about $6.5 million to work with, and they made the most out of every dollar. Because cinematically, the movie looks amazing. The movie has like this really great, dirty, gritty, realistic feel to it. All the vehicles and outfits and everything looks very authentic, and they did a great job of really stretching and making the most out of that budget. Probably the best acting of the film comes from Jorma, who is essentially silent throughout the entire movie. So he's doing a lot of eye acting, a lot of facial acting, a lot of just, staring off in the distance or just, making intense faces. But he kills it. He does a great job. And you really buy into like this dude is a unstoppable force. There's also a sort of side B story going on with this group of girls who are kidnapped and kind of rescued by our main character. There's a moment at the end where it's like, burn it down, now we're the ones with the guns, and like it's like this supposed to be like a badass revenge moment, but we don't really spend a ton of time with these ladies, so it doesn't feel as satisfying when they're just like, now it's our turn. It doesn't feel as earned, or like, I don't know, it just had this feeling of just like, alright, we're just going through the motions on this one. So let's go ahead and hit SISU with our overall rating. It's essentially taking all the big bang juiciest parts of a Tarantino film and shoving them all together, but you leave out all the interesting dialogue, you leave out all the tension and like building of like characters, you leave out all the more intricate like storylines and stuff like that. Like, we're just mostly interested in that crazy Tarantino action and that crazy Tarantino gore. Oh, and we'll take some of those crazy Tarantino like fonts and like chapter divisions and stuff like that. There is a moment where it's like, yeah, I get it. He's supposed to be unstoppable. I get it. He is a man who refuses to die. I get it. But also, he goes through so much, and at the end of the movie, he's not even limping. At the end of the movie, he's not even like, damn, my arm's kind of sore from getting blown off. Like, it doesn't appear to have any effect on this dude at all, which is like, maybe my one tiny call out is like, at least have some of this damage maybe affect him a little bit. Like, I get it. He's the ultimate Finland badass. He's the ultimate Finnish superhero. But still, I mean, the dude's leg was impaled for like 48 hours. He should probably have a small limp, maybe. Overall, we're going to hit SISU with a B+. Does it have amazing Tarantino dialogue? No. Does it have like amazing, like breathtaking performances? No. What it does have is non-stop Nazi killing fun time action. If you felt differently about SISU, then comment down below and let me know what you thought. And if you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button because it's much appreciated. I am your host as always, Kyle McLemore, and we'll see you next time at the movies.